Here lies the abyss, the well of all souls. From these emerald waters doth life begin anew. Come to me, child, and I shall embrace you. In my arms lies eternity. Canticle of Andraste, 1411.
Chantry sisters had long debated this section of the Chant of Light. It is tempting to assume that the Well of All Souls is a literal well, but such imagery appears nowhere in Andraste's other works. An examination from Trinity's 1:4 yields clues. From the waters of the Fade you made the world. As the Fade had been fluid, so is the world fixed. It is possible, even likely, that the emerald waters Andraste refers to are the substance of the Fade, which began as an ocean of dream Trinity's 1:1 and was reduced to a well bottomless but limited in scope by the Maker's creation of our world. Is Andraste urging the listener to come to the Fade? Should we take from these emerald waters doth life begin anew, as literal evidence of reincarnation or even of life after death, as the cult of spirit suggests, or as a figurative benediction indicating that the Maker is the source of all life, and in finding his embrace for eternity, we will only be returning our souls from whence they came? An excerpt from Reflections on Divinity, by Revered Mother Juliet.
A different darkspawn. The journal, penned by an unknown writer, appears to be quite old, with many of its pages damaged by water and dust. The entries that can be read all appear to be about 20 years old.
We finally found Amok alive in that passage. Still can't believe it. The only reason I didn't stop digging is because he had the key to the cache, but after 2 weeks, I was expecting to find it on his corpse. What story does he come up with? That he was found by a darkspawn, of all things. A talking darkspawn, polite, as you please, who fed him, and gave him water, and evidently chatted with him about surfacers. I don't know what Amok is thinking, coming up with a story like that, but he swore by the stone it was all the truth. Crazy as it sounds, I know Amok, and he's got the imagination of a dull hammer. Why would he make something like that up? Reminds me of a story my grandsire used to tell, about something his grandsire did. Said he once came upon a group of 3 darkspawn in the deeper roads, each twice the size of an e-dwarf, bigger than humans even, and dressed up like kings. He watched from the shadows and said they talked, like people, about things he couldn't understand. A city gone black, and they blamed each other for things, but could barely remember for what. My mam was like that, never remembered the slide, just that she was angry. Story goes they attacked each other, and one ran off, while the second choked the third to death, and then ate him. Don't know about darkspawn having talking kings, never mind polite ones that give you food and tea, but maybe Amok met one of them. There's strange things in the deeper roads, after all, things the Shapers can't even recall. As if smuggling wasn't dangerous enough.
Illuvians, let me tell you something. There are mirrors, old mirrors, from the ancient times, when our people ruled every part of this land. Only they're not really mirrors, they're Illuvians. You find some dusty old scholar, he's going to tell you our people used Illuvians to talk to each other. Don't believe it. They're portals. You walk into one, and eventually you come out the other side. Or, at least, this is what I'm told. You ever wonder why they've never found any elven roads? Like our ancestors never walked anywhere. That's why they used Illuvians, and there are still Illuvians in the old places today. Some of them even work, and Briarlan knows where they are. If we can get our hands on them, we'll have an advantage that no human could ever hope to counter: the ability to move across half of Faders in a heartbeat. From a letter discovered in the ashes of a building in the Virtua lineage, 940 Dragon.
terror. We heard their screams from miles away, out in the darkness where we couldn't see anything. Once, back when I worked on my uncle's farm hold in the Banorn, there was a calf that fell into a gulch and broke its leg. I should have to run for help, but I thought I could drag it back to safety on my own. I wasn't strong enough, however, and each time I tried to pull its leg, the calf's screaming haunts me to this day, and that's what I heard out there. Like that calf was coming for me, come to rip off my leg ever so slowly, so I knew what it felt like. But we all heard something different, you see? One of the others said he'd run into Darkspawn at a Stagar, and the scream he heard was from something called a shriek. Another said it was a dragon roar, just like the beast that burnt his family. That's when I knew what was out there was a demon. Something that wasn't just looking to make us afraid, it wanted us gibbering in terror. It wanted us running for our lives. And we did. I couldn't rightly tell you what it even looked like. There was something in the shadows, and even though we were ready when it let out that howl, I turned and ran. I couldn't even control myself. My bowels turned into water, I dropped my sword, and I took off. It was only later when I realized I was separated from the others, and that there were more of those demons out there, hungry for more of my panicked tears. From a report given by Haran, soldier of the Fear Elden Army, 915 Dragon.
Our soldiers handled themselves well in Adamant.
We've come a long way since Haven. I fear there's still a ways to go. We're prepared. All right.
Inquisitor? Inquisitor. It's good to see you.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
You've already met Grand Cleric Marceline. Lady Vivienne helped arrange the visit. The timing is most curious.
Why?
Word has circulated that Grand Cleric Marceline will be instrumental in choosing our next divine. What are Lady Vivienne's intentions, I wonder? request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is. Did you need something?
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
If you require any assistance...
Did you need something, darling?
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Why don't you tell me more about your Duke?
Bastien was the leader of the Council of Heralds. The only person who could bring that rabble into line. He could charm a bird out of its feathers, and frequently did. I remember once, he broke up a fight between Prosper de Montfort and the Dowager with a joke and a glass of wine. Oh, Bastien. I'm sorry, my dear. I don't think I can discuss this.
My heart.
We'll talk later.
Dareth Shira.
The old gods will call to you. From their ancient prisons they will see. Dragons with wicked eyes and wicked hearts. Blackened wings does deceit take flight.
The first of my children lost tonight.
Cyril Mornay, for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Kallian, Lady Laurette Kallian, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
Well, this is grim.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Oh, shit.
Blackwall!
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
It's good to see the Montiliers rising to prominence once again.
Your delight is repulsive. Lady Josephine accomplished something remarkable. She deserves all our success. We shall see. Things are
Can
never
you believe it? Tom Rainier himself.
You must know something about Renee.
I know what everyone knows. He'll hang for the massacre of a noble and his family.
Where did they take the prisoner?
In the jail of the marketplace. If you've goodbyes to say them now. It's a damned mess, but believe you me, it'll be sorted out quick. Lots of people can't wait to see that man swing. Guess not.
Inquisitor, grand to see you. I've heard amazing things from no less than the Winter Palace.
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
Was the bailiff telling the truth? Did you really do those things?
Yes, I did. It's all true. It's time we all took a good look at who I really am.
Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Kallian, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
Monster? You flatter yourself. Look at you, you're nothing.
Yes.
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. I was nothing. A waste of life. But he wanted to recruit me. We headed to Val-Chevan for the joining. But Blackwall insisted on making a stop along the way. An old ruin from one of the previous blights. He said it led to the deep roads. I was to go down alone, find a darkspawn, fill a vial with its blood. When I returned, I found the warden ambushed by more of the creatures. He took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been me.
It was a heroic act, stepping between you and a darkspawn.
I wasn't worthy. He would have wanted me to carry on to Val-Chevan, I'm certain. But without Blackwall, there's no proof that I'd been recruited. That I didn't kill him. I couldn't go to the Wardens. But I couldn't just walk away. So, Rainier died. And Blackwall lived.
Who were you before this mess?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. Well regarded, respected. But it wasn't enough. One mistake. One mistake and everything I worked for fell apart.
The man on the gallows, Mornay. Who was he?
My second in command. He was a good man. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop his execution. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
I need to know the details of what you did. Who you killed, why.
I betrayed the Empire and assassinated a general, Ulf Gold. The man was General Vincent Kallian. My employer was a Chevalier, Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais and would eventually take the throne. He thought that by eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might endear himself to the true Emperor. I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. There was good coin offered, and I took it. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, I was long gone. Of course, the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act and publicly condemned it. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
My reports say that Kallian was with his family. You had them all slaughtered.
I didn't know Kallian would be traveling with his family. I assumed only soldiers, armed guards. My men had been told to eliminate everyone. They'd seen war. They thought they were defending their country. No one likes to think about that. But it's names that carry power in this world. Bloodlines. Heirs. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
Only cowards strike the defenseless.
I've been on enough battlefields to know the same crime at the right time would have earned a medal. But that's what I did, and why I deserve to be here.
You got your men to help you. What did you tell them?
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. They trusted me without question, just as your men trust you.
I'm not forcing my men to commit crimes.
I cannot argue with that.
There's another thing I'm still wondering.
Yes?
That's all for now.
I have Liliana's report on Tom Rainier.
Give me the overview.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of Celine's biggest supporters. He led a group of fiercely loyal men on this mission, and told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. We all made this mistake. What do we do now? Blackwall... Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
I don't care about his reasons. He lied to us.
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.